Good afternoon, my name is Doctor Skrimguard and welcome to my YouTube channel. The Doctor Skrimguard Show, the Doctor Skrimguard Channel. This channel, which is mine, is better known as my channel. Of course, although I am indeed Doctor Skrimguard, the Doctor Skrimguard Channel, does in fact belong to Doctor Skrimguard. That is to say, me. Now, many would claim that I am not, in fact, Dr. Skrimguard, but that accusation is easily disproven by the fact that no one else is, factually speaking, the actual Dr. Skrimguard, myself easily excluded. It stands to reason that I am, in fact, the true Dr. Skrimguard, and since this channel, being the Doctor Skrimguard Channel, belongs to and is property of none other than Dr. Skrimguard himself, and since I, that is to say, me, and Dr. Skrimguard are one in the same person, that ownership would surely extend to myself, or at least the entity currently occupying my identity through my exact and eternal coordinates throughout time and space. Be that as it may, we have still not ruled out the remote, although entirely possibility that there is in fact no Dr. Skrimguard at all. That he is in name alone, as evidenced by speaking of it, it would be exceedingly difficult to speak of a name that is a strand of information used for the purposes of identification, even if simply for self-identification, and that any identity that might be conjured through the connection of the identification tag with the sinusoidal and literal substantiality of Dr. Skrimguard does not, in point or on actual or theoretical fact, extend into our universe nor plane of existence. Be warned, this may or may not, depending upon the context, rule out the possibility that Dr. Skrimguard, if any such entity as of we are speaking right to the case as we're speaking, might receive that title, maintain a quasi-existence within the realm of the imagination, which might be the case to some degree if we shall assume that whether or not I actually am Dr. Skrimguard, whether by existence or association, I must be real to some degree if I am to interact with reality, or whatever it is you call reality. In the worst-case scenario being your personal virtual reality bubble or closed-circuit perception stream, my point still stands. If my words are reaching you, it either means that I am an outside entity capable of interacting with at least one layer of reality, which by definition would mean that I am real, or I am not as such an independent intelligence so much as a part of your bubble, an extension of yourself. If the latter is the case, then since obviously you are real by evidence of the cognito, I, by extension, am also real. Though, in this sense, there would not necessarily be an I to begin with. In any case, since I am able to speak about Dr. Skrimguard, the base concept of Dr. Skrimguard as something that one might be able to speak about must exist. Else it would fly in the face of empirical evidence being presented right now. No matter if the past or the future, or any actual or virtual universe outside of your own current experience truly or falsely exists, the fact remains that I at this very second I am speaking about Dr. Skrimguard. You may then agree that myself and Dr. Skrimguard are real to the degree that it is pragmatic to include them in a logical argument with any hope of a factual resolution, and not a matter of oblivion. As for the channel itself, for the sake of brevity, let me simply make the statement that from the experience of your eyeballs, that is to say, from the perspective of your personal subjective universe, which, as argued before, is the only frame of reality relevant to this discussion, this subjective universe, which argued before, is the only frame of reality relevant to this discussion, this channel, the Doctor Skrimguard channel, that is at the very least a page upon which appears to be your computer screen, I assume, that through this video proclaims itself to be the Doctor Skrimguard channel. I would say that for these purposes it is real enough. Therefore, the entities in question that we agree are real enough, at least, to be in question in the first place are a YouTube channel that with the name of the Doctor Skrimguard channel, an intelligence manifest as myself, who calls itself Dr. Skrimguard, and the actual virtual entity with or may literally be the true name, obviously, of Dr. Skrimguard. The only thing which is apparent that these three, I use three on assumption that numbers can be applied to the real world, that these three entities all use the name Dr. Skrimguard. Upon this observation, I ask myself, what is a name? As mentioned earlier, a name is an identification tag, a way to bundle large amounts of information about an entity, most of which is next to impossible to describe conventionally, into a simple mnemonic. In other words, a name is just a type of domain, and the domain of Dr. Skrimguard contains the three entities mentioned forthwith. In a functional sense, these entities are linked as I, Dr. Skrimguard's channel, and Dr. Skrimguard's all belong to Dr. Skrimguard. The fact that the Doctor Skrimguard channel belongs to Dr. Skrimguard is self-evident, for who else would such a channel as the Doctor Skrimguard channel be subservient to but Dr. Skrimguard? This channel, as you may have guessed by now, is one whose content contains not but the image and creative vision of that mastermind who would appear to be Dr. Skrimguard. Such is obvious. It makes sense, and as such provides tangible evidence for the existence of this domain. The idea that Dr. Skrimguard belongs to Dr. Skrimguard, however, is a blatant paradox. How can a man belong to himself? Furthermore, how can a domain possibly contain that which is itself? That would be like stuffing a box into itself, rendering the exterior contained within the interior, effectively collapsing the entire box to outside the space-time continuum into its own pocket universe, which, now that I think about it, is what has just happened to the Doctor Skrimguard that is, as a certainty, the true Doctor Skrimguard. That particular entity has been removed from the larger domain of all that might be, that is, everything, and placed in the oblivion, the nothing. It has therefore been demoted to the second highest order of non-existence. that which is impossible. This leaves me, the organism calling myself Dr. Skrimguard, and who at minimum, within the buffer of your working memory and instantaneous experience, holds a merely doubtful status. By process of elimination, since I myself, the being who is me, am the only one remaining to possess even the slightest probability of being Dr. Skrimguard, I must in actual fact be Dr. Skrimguard. If then I am Dr. Skrimguard, and the Doctor Skrimguard channel belongs to Dr. Skrimguard, then the channel in question, the Doctor Skrimguard channel, must belong to me. In other words, it is mine, and I own it. In summation, now that the very most simple and basic of matters regarding this discussion are finally cleared up once and for all, allow me to reiterate. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Skrimguard, and welcome to the Doctor Skrimguard channel.